Oh, I was just about to bring you breakfast in bed.
Well, you needn't bother. I'm up now.
After last night's fiasco, it seemed the least I could do.
You only had to come home at your usual time.
But I was working, love, catching up on the accounts.
Why then, for God's sake?
Well, quite honestly, it seemed that being on the picket line was far more important than my birthday.
Yeah, well, you thought wrong, didn't you?
When are we going to start getting our wires crossed, love?
When we stop keeping things from each other, I suppose.
I'm not with you.
Why didn't you tell me Jones had threatened to put you out of business for supporting the pickets?
Oh, that!
Last night wasn't just to celebrate your birthday, you know. It was to thank you for helping us win.
Win? You mean...
I had a meeting with Jones yesterday, and he has decided to pay the compensation in full.
But that's marvellous. After all your hard work, you must be pleased.
Yeah, I'm so pleased I'm going to let you put it on the front page.
Well, what a turnaround. Does that mean I'm forgiven? For last night?
I suppose so. Come here. If breakfast in bed was a peace offering, I am more than willing to accept it.
I'll deal with it personally, Mr. Howard. Yes, it'll definitely appear in this week's Pets and Livestock section. Though what anybody would want with a fully grown iguana, I really don't know. You all right?
Well, as right as any husband can be who missed his birthday dinner.
Oh, Ken, no.
Oh, Ken, yes.
Deirdre must have been furious.
She was.
So would I have been.
Until I told her I'd spent the entire evening slaving over the accounts.
And she believed you?
I think so, yes. Best I could come up with under the circumstances. I just have to try a bit harder next time, won't I? There is going to be a next time, isn't there?
So, Jones has agreed to pay up.
Yes, largely thanks to Deirdre.
A very tenacious lady, your wife. I admire her.
Dear.
I admire anyone with commitment. Lesser mortals might have resigned from the council, shut the door on the neighbours' problems and got on with keeping the family together.
She's a fighter, all right.
Ken, I don't want her ever to think she has to fight me.
Why would she do that?
To keep you. That's why it's essential she doesn't find out about us.
And what if she does?
She mustn't. Our relationship isn't about putting Deirdre to the test.
Putting Deirdre to the test? Oh, no, you are confusing me.
Well, I'm very clear in my mind, Ken. We must minimise the risk of being found out.
And how do you suggest we do that?
It's obvious, isn't it? I'll have to leave the recorder.
Leave? But you're only just getting into the job.
It's one thing having an affair with a married man, Ken. It's quite another working with him. You might be happy mixing work and relationships, Ken, but I prefer to keep them separate.
Look, if you bothered about last night...
Oh, it's not just that. I feel hemmed in, vulnerable, knowing that Deirdre might walk in the office at any moment.
Well, you've always known that was a risk.
Look, we're too close. I know too much about what goes on between you and Deirdre.
I thought you wanted me to be honest with you, completely open.
It's all very well in principle.
Look, for heaven's sake, Wendy, she is my wife. We can't just pretend she doesn't exist.
As long as we are working together, I won't know whether you really care for me or you're just using me.
Of course I care for you.
Then show it by accepting my resignation.
And risk losing you altogether?
I just want some space, Ken, that's all. So we can work out what we really want from each other. You can't refuse me that, can you?
You know, I can't remember the last time you were like this.
Oh? Like what exactly?
Well, relaxed enough to pick up a book of an evening. Funny when you think I was on my own in the kitchen last night, cooking up a storm, and you were alone in the office, cooking the books.
That's supposed to be funny.
Ah, you know what I mean. You know, we really should spend more evenings alone together.
Yeah, we must.
I'll try and sound a bit more enthusiastic about it.
Well, the thing is, love, I don't know if that's going to be possible, or not in the immediate future, anyway.
Why not?
Because Wendy Crozier...
Oh, God, what's that woman got to do with it?
Well, I'm afraid she's leaving the recorder.
Leaving?
Can't stand the pressure, or so she says. Bit of a blow, really.
Oh, well, it might be to you, Ken. But as far as I'm concerned, she can't leave the recorder, Weatherfield, and wherever she's shacking up at the moment fast enough.
Look, love, I know you weren't exactly happy about her working.
Damn right I wasn't.
Yeah, but, I mean, if she leaves, it means I go straight back to square one, which is trying to run the paper single-handed.
Quite honestly, Ken, I don't give a damn.
Oh, right, well, if that's the way you feel.
No, I don't mean it like that, but... Well, don't you see, Ken? Her leaving is just another step towards us getting back to normal. Well, it is, isn't it?
Hang on. You only stopped off for me to change my top.
Oh, get it changed, then.
It wasn't an excuse. Can't be in the office with cod more nailed down my front.
One little speck. You entice me back, admit it. Skyver.
I'm working my notice, aren't I? Beavering away until Friday.
You have to quit.
Well, I think it's best. And Deirdre's happy, isn't she?
Pass. Hey, love, never stopped. Been one of those days. Same again.
No, I'm all right, thanks, love.
Half a lager, please.
You look very pleased with yourself. Things picking up, are they?
I'll give you a full report over the meal. Tracy with Emily, is she?
Yes, she is.
Pardon me butting in, Kenneth, but I reckon this Gazette free sheet must pose a threat, mustn't it?
Oh, tell me news. Still, we're fighting on. The battle is far from over.
Jolly good.
Where have
See
you been?
What?
Look at your tie, it's a right mess.
I don't know how that could have happened.
He's been with a woman.
Thought we'd seen the last of you.
Can't leave me old water nose, can I? It's either your technicolor smile or your scotch.
Don't kid me, you just like annoying folk. And where else would you find such easy targets?
Target's more like sitting ducks.
Morning, Mr. Sugden.
Good morning. Is Kenneth not very well at the moment?
Ken, no, he's fine.
Did I hear my name mentioned?
Yes, I was just asking your good lady whether they were 100%.
Fit as a fiddle.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. No, I was just wondering, we've not seen you in court yesterday, the Bradley business, you know. No, I thought you might be indisposed. Anyway, if you want an eyewitness account of the proceedings, I'm at your disposal.
I'll bear that in mind.
Well, you know, I've got an excellent memory and I'm a trained observer, but I can't stop. Me and Mrs. Bishop are turning mattresses over this morning.
I bet that's a well-drilled operation. Mattress turning, Percy Sugden style. Right, well, I'll push on to the office then. Bye.
Do you fancy a bit of lunch in the Rovers later?
Well, I'd love to, but not today. I've got a lot on. I'll be working through.
Well, you can manage an hour.
Not today, love. See you.
I would have thought you'd have been at the court yesterday for the Alan Bradley trial, you know. Good local story and all that.
Yeah, splendid local story, but of course tonight's evening papers will be full of it. By the time my recorder comes out, it'll be old news, all forgotten. Yeah, okay, Wendy. In about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's fine with me. I'll be waiting. Impatiently. Oh, and, Wendy, no, never mind. It'll wait till you're here. Bye.
Surprise, surprise. I suddenly thought I can't have that poor lad toiling away through his lunch hour not getting any proper nourishment. So, here we are. 2 cans of lager, 2 packets of sarnies. We'll have a picnic.
Now, here you mean?
Yeah, well, it's too cold for the park. There we are. I feel like Little Red Riding Hood with me bag of goodies. No wolves round here, I hope. In the office all day.
Well, yes, I was, until this cropped up.
Well, who is this chap, anyway?
Well, he's a potential advertiser in quite a big way. He's talking about a lot of space, which I need to sell.
Well, surely you've got time.
No, I'm latest at his, love. I was about to leave the office when you came in. I mean, he's waiting for me in the wine bar.
Oh, well, at least you get a bite to eat then. That is, I hope you will, if you're going to be drinking.
Anyway, I must dash. I don't want to keep him waiting, so I'll see you later on.
I'll walk as far as the wine bar with you.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
What's the matter? What are we going back for?
Left my money in the office. I mean, no point in going without money, is there?
You're all of a dither, mate. You're working too hard. That's your trouble.
Well, you could be right. Yes, you could be right. Sorry. The minute I put the phone down, Deirdre walked in through the door. Well, you saw how I was placed. I mean, you must have guessed what happened.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your lunch together.
I didn't take her to lunch. For one thing, she came through the door. I said, well, the first thing that came into my head, I said, I've got to see an advertiser for lunch. I must say this. I really don't like the lying and the grubby deceit.
Yes.
I'm not saying that what we've got is grubby. I mean, you know what I mean.
Well, that's why I couldn't work for you anymore. I just knew what it would be like. Every time Deirdre called into the office, I'd be making bright conversation and feeling an absolute...
Yeah, well, look, let's make a rule, shall we? We don't talk about Deirdre.
Do you want a drink?
I don't think so. I just like to be with you, that's all.
I didn't expect you.
Of course you did. Had a good holiday?
Fabulous.
Oh, you didn't miss me then?
Nope. Well, actually, I did.
Nah, I suppose it goes with Ken's job, working late. The eye that never sleeps, as he likes to call himself.
That's why he's got bags under his eyes.
Well, I hope it is.
Yeah, but at least your Ken's doing something sensible.
You're exhausted, aren't you?
It's been a long day. I've been up since 4.
There should be a law against travelling in the middle of the night.
There should be.
Come on, I'll take you home.
Oh, you don't need to. I can get a taxi.
I'll take you home.
No. I know you're a busy man. Deadlines to meet. Foreign correspondents ringing in.
Yeah, lots of those.
Anyway, I'm a busy woman. I have a house to restock. Now Greece is just a fond memory. You're not still worrying, are you?
About Baldwin seeing us at the airport? Well, I've told you what he's like. Lizards, reptiles, they don't come into it.
I can't believe that he's just going to go marching up to Deirdre and tell her... Well, not that he could tell her all that much anyway.
Well, he saw us together, kissing.
I doubt he even remembers who I am.
I think she could work that bit out for herself.
She might, if he told her. But what I'm saying is I can't
you
believe...
just don't know what kind of a man he is.
Well, pretty pathetic if he's going to try and bust up somebody's marriage. I mean, what would be in it for him?
Don't ask.
Well, I wouldn't, except you seem convinced he'll be on to Deirdre the minute he's back in the country.
He was married to my daughter.
Yeah, you said.
And I was against the marriage. In fact, I did everything I could to try to stop it.
Well, why?
Oh, well, because he was twice her age, and I knew he was a pretty unscrupulous and nasty sort of character. And I was right. Not that it gives me any pleasure to say it, but the marriage lasted barely 2 years.
And he blames you for that?
He was blaming me for pretty well everything, I shouldn't wonder. So seeing us last night was like a dream come true for him. Gave him all the ammunition he needs.
No, sorry. Still can't believe he's going to go running to Deirdre. I can't. I think this is one time, Ken Barlow, you're getting your knickers in a twist over nothing. Anyway, I've got to get going. You coming round tonight?
You want me to?
Only on condition I don't hear another word about this Baldwin character. Forget him. It doesn't matter.
I didn't know you were taking on extra staff.
Oh, he's a youth enterprise lad. I think he's a bit intimidated by the word processor.
I know the feeling. Anyway, why I've called. How would you feel about me taking on a part-time job? Strictly part-time and strictly temporary.
Well,
Only Mavis is in a state.
more than usual.
Oh, a lot more than usual. She's trying to run the cabin by herself. She's worrying over Rita. So I said I'd step in for the odd hour.
I bet you help lame dogs over stiles as well.
Oh, but if you
It's all right, love. If you've got the time, great. You do it.
Why don't we row anymore?
We used to.
I seem to think we exchanged the odd word on why I was giving so much time to council business and why you were publishing certain stories.
Can't remember.
I'll show you the scars if you like.
I'll be the lad. I don't want to give him ideas.
Yeah, okay. No, but you're not, oh, I don't know. You're not nursing secret grievances around like that. I mean, you are happy with the way things are.
The way things are now, I'm very happy.
Good.
Relax. Sit down. What do you want to drink? Beer?
You trying to seduce me?
Of course I am.
Well, yes then. The beer will be lovely.
I hope you're not starving, because food's going to be a good while yet.
No. Thanks.
And thanks, Ken,
What for?
for making time for us. I know it can't be easy having to lie to Deirdre.
Funny thing is, I don't know whether I need bother. I honestly don't think she'd notice if I just said I'm going to be back late and didn't give any reason. She's so tied up with her own life. She mentioned that we didn't argue anymore. Well, quite honestly, I think we don't argue anymore because neither of us cares enough to make the effort.
We said we wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, well, you don't solve anything that way.
There's nothing to solve.
Look, Baldwin saw us the minute he returns to Weatherfield.
You know what you're doing, don't you, Ken? You know what game this is you're playing?
Game?
You're pretending we're going to be discovered. Pretending Deirdre's going to find out about us. Then you can go on about what we should do, what we should say. And it's all fantasy, because it's not going to happen. And I'm sorry you obviously find us so boring. You've got to jazz things up like that.
Mike Baldwin, who saw us at the airport, and Deirdre, my wife, they were once lovers. They had an affair, quite a long affair, that nearly wrecked our marriage.
You're serious?
No, I'm serious, all right. It was about the worst time in my life. That's why I can't stand the bloke, and why he hates me. I wish I was fantasizing, but he's quite capable of going to see Deirdre, no question.
I didn't realise.
No, well, you wouldn't.
And if...
What?
What will you do if he does?
Well, I've thought about it. Thought about nothing else, but I don't know.
Look, you can stay up later tomorrow night, but just for now.
It's only 9.
It would have been late enough for me when I was your age.
Really?
Tracy.
I'm going.
Good night.
Yeah.
Night, love. Anyway.
Look, I'm sorry to be bothering you at this time.
Oh, it's all right. Ken's not back from work yet.
You never mentioned this.
Ken, I can't live on fresh air. I applied to this agency this morning. I mean, it's only temping, but they pay well. And they said, yes, they had a vacancy, and could I start this afternoon? So I said, yes, I could.
You mean you haven't got time for lunch?
I haven't, I'm sorry.
Well, it would have been nice to be able to talk.
Well, would it? Don't we have to wait for this Mike Baldwin to get back from wherever he's gone? See whether he actually does tell Deirdre?
I mean, you do realise it's a real threat, don't you? They were lovers.
Yes, I do realise it's a real threat, Ken. I do feel very threatened. Believe me, I do.
Yeah, well, I've been wondering about whether I should tell Deirdre first before he has a chance to.
Telling her about us? Why?
Better coming from me than from him.
Might be if we're going to stop seeing one another. Is that what you want?
Well, at least it would be a more honourable way to behave than just sitting around here waiting to see if Baldwin's going to spill the beans.
And your conscience would be clear. Well, let's be honest, Ken. I mean, what are you after? Forgiveness? Some kind of absolution?
It isn't me I'm thinking about, it's Deirdre.
Do you want us to finish?
No.
Do you want your marriage to be over?
No.
Well, you tell Deirdre, and it has to be one or the other, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You want to tell her, I can't stop you. Just don't pretend you don't know what you'd be doing. Hi.
Oh, hey.
Be nice to me. I've had a rotten afternoon. And I'm sorry. I am very sorry if I was nasty too earlier.
You weren't nasty to me.
Yes, I was. I think we were both on edge. But when you're on edge, you start acting worried. When I'm on edge, I start acting nasty.
Oh. And why have you had a rotten afternoon?
Oh, I can't stand being the office nougat. Not knowing where anything is or what's what. You feel so stupid.
I told you should have stayed here.
Perhaps I've just got out of the habit of working. I don't know. So, what's been happening in your life?
Well, I've been thinking about what you said.
Oh, you should never do that. I say the most terrible things.
Yeah, about telling Deirdre, and you're right. It would be pretty suicidal.
For your marriage.
I was thinking more of us.
I don't want to lose you, Ken. I don't want us to stop.
Well,
But what if this Baldwin does tell her when he gets back? Oh, no, don't answer that. I've no right to ask you things like that.
well, why not is what I keep asking myself.
Can you come round tonight? No, I shouldn't ask you things like that either, should I? You've got your family.
Wouldn't be too clever. I mean, I was out last night.
Yeah. Yeah. You go home. I'll be all right. I think it's this afternoon's work that's got to me. I'm just not used to it.
Hello, Weatherfield Recorder. Oh, Wendy. Hi, what can I do for you? Lunchtime? Oh, I'm sorry. No, not today, I'm afraid. Deirdre? No. No, I'm not seeing Deirdre. I'm just up to my eyeballs in it. Mrs. Turner hasn't turned up. The phones never start ringing, and lunchtime is just a luxury I can't afford today. Yeah, I'm afraid you have rung at a bad time. Look, I can't talk now. I'll catch up with you later, okay? I'm sorry, but, I mean, that's the way it is today. All right. Yeah, I'll see you later. Right, bye. Hi.
Hiya. I thought you were really busy at the office.
Well, yeah, sorry about this morning. It really was a bad time to ring.
Yes, I did get the message. It really was work then?
Oh, of course it was. What else?
I don't know. I'm sorry, Ken. I couldn't help wondering if something had happened at home.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
If this Mike Baldwin business was getting to you.
Look, Mike Baldwin's away. He can't spoil anything for us. If and when he does decide to make things awkward for us, well, we'll handle it then, together.
So nothing's changed then?
That's not quite right.
Oh?
No, there's been a bit of a crisis at the cabin, and Deirdre's decided to step in and help.
I'd have thought she had enough on her plate.
Yes, it does mean I won't be seeing much of her over the next few days, that's for sure. Looks like a good time to put in a few extra hours work myself.
I wonder what advanced state of dither we'll find Mavis in today.
Bit harsh, considering.
Oh, I know, poor soul. Still, she has rather made an art form out of falling to pieces, hasn't she? Come to think of it, you're another one who looks a bit frayed round the edges.
Don't bracket us together, please.
You've not touched your breakfast. I hope you're not coming down with flu. There's a lot of bugs about.
No, I'm all right, don't fuss.
You're still worrying about the recorder?
Among other things.
What things?
Oh, well, nothing major, you know. Now, come on, why don't you get off and go and polish humbugs or whatever you do in a toffee shop first thing in the morning.
Bye, love.
Bye. Well, I wonder if the Joker's landed back yet.
Who?
Weatherfield's answer to Gotham City, Mike Baldwin.
He's getting to be an obsession with you.
You don't know him like I do.
Ken, I'm sorry. I thought I could handle this, but I can't.
Handle what?
Us. This whole messy situation. I thought I was different. I wasn't the cliché, pathetic mistress. I was the independent woman who could enjoy a relationship without needing or wanting commitment. I was wrong.
Look, I can't...
Give me that. I know.
No, I was going to say... I'll make any promises. Not until I know I can keep them.
Don't ask me to be patient, Ken. Don't say these things take time. Fast forward 2 or 3 years and we'll still be in exactly the same situation. Except by then you'll have a different set of excuses for inertia.
Look, I've been together with Deirdre now for 8 years. And there's Tracy. I can't just walk out.
Why not? I agree it's painful, but in the end, isn't it cleaner and more honest than constantly lying to her? Splitting yourself into little bits between us. You don't imagine she's happy, do you? I mean, she must suspect something.
Possibly.
Ken, I'm not telling you to leave her. I'm not going to put myself in that position so that one day you can hurl it in my face.
Then what do you want me to do?
Whatever you think's right. If you want to have a shot at making some sort of a future with me, then that's fine. If you choose to stay with Deirdre, well, I can live with that. But you're the only one who can decide. And until you do, I don't want to see you again.
Don't say that, please.
I mean it, Ken. This hurts too much. When you know what you want, ring me. Either way. But until then, just stay out of my life.
Hi. Hi. Suppose you've heard the latest?
What about?
Alan Bradley's been taken into custody again.
Oh, yeah, for questioning.
Percy and Mavis are convinced they'll charge him this time. Can they without a body?
I think so, yes, under special circumstances, but I think they're all jumping the gun a bit, though. Deirdre?
What are you doing on this early anyway? It's not like you.
Well, it was quiet. I wanted to get away. Love?
Well, I'm very glad you did. It's been a nightmare of a day. Tracy's gone round to her pals. You can take me for a drink and an Indian. How does beef biryani sound?
Great. Hi. Look, Wendy, I have to talk to you.
I'm now. Got to be in town for 10 to 9.
Don't go.
Look, it's a day's work. It's how I make my living. I'm a temp. I don't like it all that much, but in a way, that's what this is about. I'm your temp, aren't I? And I don't like it. I want something permanent.
But we have to talk.
Ken, we do nothing but talk. Round and round. It doesn't settle anything. I'm sorry, I know it's not what we had in mind when we started, but I can't help how I feel.
Look, you don't have to apologise. I'm not blaming you for how you feel, but I just wish you'd let me explain my situation at home.
I know exactly what you want to happen. You want Deirdre to make your decision for you, tell you she's had enough of you. That way you won't have to feel guilty. I'm right, aren't I? Well, I'm sorry, Ken, but life isn't that convenient.
Hi, Deirdre, love. Hiya, Betty. Oh, Betty, can you save me a couple of hot pots for later? Okay, love. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
A lager, please, Jack.
So I'll get that.
No, you're all right. I'm expecting Ken. Well, I say expecting. It's more like hoping, really. He's that busy at the recorder.
Oh, working late a lot at the office, is he?
Yes, he is.
Funny, I thought he would be. Strange how married men put in a lot of extra hours at the office. You know, they always say that when they've got a girlfriend.
Are you talking from your own experience, Mike?
No, my own observations, darling. See ya.
Hiya, sweetheart.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Been here long?
I know, 2 minutes.
Oh, good, good. Tina, half a bitter, please.
Ken,
Yeah.
why don't we go out somewhere tonight? Somewhere special, just you and me.
Tonight? Sorry, I'll have no. Can't make tonight.
Working late at the office, eh? Well, if Mike Baldwin was here, he'd say that supports his theory about hard-working husbands.
Baldwin? What's this about Baldwin?
Oh, he was in here just now making cracks about men who have to work late at the office. They've usually got a bird on the side.
Yeah, well, he would, wouldn't he? The man measures everybody else by his own filthy standards. Why the hell can't the sly little rat keep his nasty opinions to himself?
All right, Ken, all right. Hi.
Oh, hello. What are you having?
Slimline tonic, ice and lemon, please, Jack.
So, how was your afternoon?
Not bad. I'll tell you what, though. You'll never guess who came in the cabin just before closing time. Wendy Crosin.
Oh? What does she want?
Oh, same as most people do at that time. An evening paper. She didn't say much. What's she up to these days?
I've no idea. No, I've really no idea what she's up to. Well, just tell me what you thought you were playing at.
You do pick your times, Ken. It's a bit early in the morning for a row.
I've not come for a row.
Well, you could have fooled me.
I simply want to know what you thought you were achieving walking in on Deirdre in the paper shop. I mean, you obviously knew she was there. I can't believe it was a coincidence.
Well, no, you told me yourself she was helping them out at the moment.
So you went in deliberately? I mean, were you planning to tell Deirdre about us?
No. No, look, Ken, I'm not going to be the one who tells her. You're the one who has to tell her.
And I will, when the time is right.
So you say, but I think that'll be
Now,
never.
look, just a minute, before we get sidetracked. Can we establish why you went into the cabin?
Well, I just went on impulse, really. I mean, I didn't plan anything. I suppose I just wanted to find out whether you told her about us yet. Which, quite clearly, you hadn't, because if you had, when Deirdre saw me, she would have... Well, it would have been quite obvious. That's why I went. I just wanted to find out. I didn't go to make life more difficult for you, Ken. Really, I didn't. I suppose you think life's difficult enough already. I just want to get things sorted out, so I know where I stand.
They will be sorted out, I promise.
When?
I don't know exactly. But soon.
Hi. Listen, love, can I leave my order with you? I'll pick it up later. Is that all right, Al?
Yeah, of course it is. I'll do it myself. When do you want it, love?
Oh, about 6-ish. I should be finished by then.
Right.
You're working at the cabin, aren't you?
When I can.
I don't know how you do it, you know. Counsellor, looking after a family, helping in the cabin, by heck.
Yeah, well, she's got Ken, you see. He don't mind taking her back round and peeling taters for you, does he?
I don't know, Ken's hardly ever at home these days. He's that busy at the recorder.
You could have fooled me.
Pardon?
3 times this week I've tried to get him. Put a big advert in, put money in his pocket. He's never there. But from what my mates tell me, it's a waste of time putting adverts in the recorder these days. They all tell me it's a sinking ship. But God knows where the captain's spending his time.
She's coming down. Mavis, she's coming down. I told her she had to pull herself together. I pointed out to her, gently of course, that she wasn't being fair to me. I mean, whatever the circumstances, Mavis, I said, you've got to keep on keeping on. It's one of my mother's sayings, that. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, well, if you're sure she's up to it, Derek.
Oh, yes, yes. Sometimes one has to be firm with Mavis. For her own good. She'll be fine. As long as there's somebody with her, of course.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll get off and leave you and Mavis to it.
Pardon? No, I was going to say that. I was going to say I'll leave you to it, Deirdre. I mean, well, I've been holding the fort. My sails have been slipping. I've made great sacrifices.
Look, I'm sorry, Derek, but other people have got important things to see to as well as you.
Yes, I know, but surely it's a question of priorities. I mean, my career could suffer.
I'm afraid I have to go. Ken? Ken? It's me, Deirdre.
You have to go.
You know I must.
Oh, I hate it when you leave.
Not much longer. Hi.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, love. Sorry I'm late. Have you two eaten?
Yeah. I didn't know what time you'd be back. Yours is in the oven. It's just warming through. It'll only be 5 minutes.
Fine, fine. So, how was school today?
All right, nothing special. Same old stuff.
I know the feeling.
Tracy, love, will you do me a favour? Pop this round to your Auntie Emily's. I promised I'd pass it on to her.
Now?
Well, you're not doing anything special, are you?
Yeah, okay.
Morris Jones was moaning about you today.
Moaning about me?
In the corner shop. Said he got a big advert for the recorder, only he couldn't get hold of you.
Oh, you couldn't have tried very hard.
Well, he said he did. He said you were never in the office.
That's rubbish. Anyway, if the man wants an advert, I'll ring him first thing tomorrow. God knows I'll be glad of it.
I went to the office today, Ken. You weren't there.
What time?
Oh, about 4 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, well, I nipped out for 5 minutes.
No, now I come to think of it, it was about 3. Had you just nipped out then as well?
Deirdre, what is this? What do you want?
Nothing. Ken. Is there somebody else?
What brought this on? This is Baldwin's doing, isn't it? You've actually been listening to his nasty little innuendos. Well, damn it, Deirdre, how can you, of all people, believe anything that man says?
Not just him, Ken.
No, but he put the idea in, didn't he? All this business about me not being in the office. Well, the recorder is wherever I happen to be, Deirdre. I don't run it from the office, I run it from here. Now, come on, all this, what this boils down to is just a few snide remarks on Baldwin. But I'll tell you what really hurts is he obviously preferred to believe him rather than me.
I'm sorry, Ken, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Auntie Emily says thanks very much.
I've never known anybody have as many crises in their marriage as them two.
Jack and Vera.
And look at them, happy as Larry.
Yes, they are a durable couple, I suppose. I think it's because, when it comes down to it, whatever else, they need each other.
Ah, so that's the secret
Sorry.
of a happy marriage. Perhaps that's where we're going wrong.
Ooh.
Oh, me and Ken. We just seem to spend that much time wrapped up in our own jobs lately. We never seem to have a minute for each other.
Surely you and Ken understand each other.
Well, I thought we did. Oh, it's just me. I suppose it's the strain of trying to do me council work, help out at the cabin and keep the home going.
I'm not with you.
I practically accused Ken of seeing another woman.
You what?
Well, he's been spending that much time at work lately. Oh, forget I said it. I was just being silly.
Yes, you were. It's unthinkable. Ken thinks the world of you and Tracy. Oh, I'm surprised such a thought should ever enter your head.
Well, there should be something on here. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Christmas shopping?
Sort of. You?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, haven't met my daughter, have you? Sorry, Tracy, this is Miss Crozier.
Hello. Pretty girl.
Yes, I suppose she is. Glad I bumped into you. I was going to give you a ring.
I thought you'd forgotten my number.
No, don't be silly. I've just been busy. Time's at a premium this time of the year.
It is for everybody.
Dad, what do you think of this perfume?
Perfume for you.
No, for Deirdre.
Ah.
Dad?
Yes, I'll ring you tomorrow, okay?
Dad, don't you want us to trim up?
Yes, of course I do, love.
Samantha trimmed up ages ago.
Yeah, and I bet they were the first one in their road to have a lit up Christmas tree in the window as well.
Yeah, they were.
Yes, I thought as much.
Dad.
Hmm?
Are you going to help us trim up?
What? Oh, good grief, I should have been back in the office half an hour ago.
Hello, skulking off, are we?
Oh, I've got work to do.
Do you know, men should have those words engraved on their foreheads and they wouldn't have to keep repeating them. Oh, I tell you what you can do. Fetch the Christmas tree out the backyard, bring it in here.
I get pine needles all over my suit.
Christmas tree.
Oh, Christmas. The world won't end in a nuclear explosion. It'll be choked to death by Christmas.
I'll tell you what I've got you if you'll tell me what you've got me.
No.
Oh, go on. In case I don't like it and then you can change it.
You better like it. It cost enough.
Do you know we saw when we were getting your perfume in Harrison's? I've gone and told you what I've bought now, so you'll have to tell me, won't you?
No.
That's not fair.
Go on. Who did you see?
Wendy Crozier. I think she was buying perfume as well.
Look, if we're supposed to be preserving trees, why don't we start with Christmas trees? Where would you like it?
Anywhere for now.
Didn't we, Dad?
What?
See Wendy Crozier this morning.
Yes. Yes, we did. There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. Does it Christmas exhaust you? It does me.
I'll let you know after I've cooked Christmas dinner.
Must be a relentless, longer, sustained build-up to a single day's holiday in the entire world. Total victory for Mammon.
Ken,
Yeah?
why didn't you tell me you and Tracy had bumped into Wendy Crozier this morning?
Never gave it a second thought. Anyway,
What?
I thought the name Wendy Crozier was taboo.
Could we go sometime, Dad?
Cost a bob or two, love.
Instead of a summer holiday, I won't mind. Gemma says it's brilliant, much better than sticking at home with everyone in the morning and stuffing themselves. Can we go next year?
Well, we'll have to see how the recorder's doing by then, love.
It's not still in trouble, is it?
Oh, we're stumbling on, but nothing's really changed. The Gazette's still on the warpath.
Look, executive decision coming up. No more talk about problems till after Christmas. All right, Ken.
Fine by me. You've done it beautifully.
Just because you're on your own doesn't mean you shouldn't make an effort.
I hate to think of you on your own.
There are worse fates. Have a standing invitation to go to my stepmother's in Chester. Various friends have said come round.
Will you go?
Being alone isn't the problem. It's a choice I made some time ago. I could have been married by the time I was 21. Had a couple of children by now.
I'm sure you could.
Trouble is, the older you get, the less prepared you are to compromise. That's the supreme irony, isn't it? Wait all these years for Mr. Right, and when he finally comes, it belongs to somebody else.
God, I wish I could be with you.
You'll be okay. Happy family Christmas.
I don't know so much about the happy. I just have to make an effort, if only for Tracy, but I'll be torn in two.
Well, that's one problem I won't have. Must be awful where both partners in an affair are married. Or perhaps it's better. Evens things out.
Don't be flippant now.
That's the last thing I'm being. I think I'm trying not to bawl my head off. It's just this stupid, sentimental season. I hate jolly little Robin.
Tracy, that looks lovely.
Wait till we get the lights on.
Funny thing about tree lights, have you noticed, Emily? Just as you're sitting down to your roast, they fuse and plunge the house into darkness.
If they do, knock on the wall and I'll send Mr. Sugden round with some fuse wire, and please keep him here as long as you can.
Oh, you're joking, Emily. I think I'd rather sit through a blackout than let Percy in here on Christmas Day.
We've got Dad to mend them anyway.
You little chauvinist. I can mend a fuse, thank you very much.
We'll probably be at work or something anyway.
Oh, not on Christmas Day, Tracy.
I bet he is. He's never here these days.
Don't be silly, Tracy. Of course he'll be here.
I bet. Can I go and play tape?
Yeah, not loud.
Ta.
Sounds like someone's missing her father.
Yeah, well, you can't really blame her, can you? This time of the evening.
And you can't expect a 12-year-old to understand how much work he's got on.
This is lovely.
Yeah, really lovely.
I shan't make it easy for you.
What?
To go home.
It has to be done, though, I'm afraid. It's Tracy.
Ah, Tracy.
Yep, says so in all the books. Kids, Christmas. You gotta be there.
And you'll always do things by the book, won't you, Ken? Well, you better have this.
Oh, wonderful. Let me guess. Bottle of whiskey.
Very close.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. Thank you.
And thank you for a wonderful day.
The pleasure was entirely mine.
Not entirely. And you'll ring me?
I promise. Somehow.
Think of me when you're looking at that.
I got a better idea. Why don't we leave it here and then we can both enjoy it?
I bought it for you, Ken. Tell her it's from one of your clients and see if she believes you.
Oh, hello, love. What a day.
It was a long day.
Oh, you can say that again. Tracy in bed?
Yeah. She was hoping you'd be back.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sorry. I intended to. I really did, but I just couldn't tear myself away. You know how it is. Tree looks nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, hell of a day. Do you feel like a drink?
No.
Everything all right?
I want to know where you've been and who with.
Oh.
Is it revenge? For me and Mike?
Of course not.
Is it serious? Answer me, Ken. Is it serious? I see.
Honestly, Deirdre, I've been wanting to talk about it.
Oh, why didn't you?
Well, I just wanted to get Christmas out of the way first.
Oh, very restrained.
Look, I just can't believe that it's happened. I really can't. Oh, Christ, love. Look, the last thing in the world I want to do is hurt you. You've got to believe that.
Wendy Crozier. Am I right?
Yes.
Tree lights seem okay this year. Right, I'm off to bed. Good night. Oh, by the way, I don't care where you sleep, but it's not in my bed.
my clothes and some tapes.
Look, can I just ask you one thing? It's all right, she's on the phone. Can I just ask you to stop treating me as though everything I've done has been with the sole purpose of hurting you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
God, dear, you've got this martyred air about you. Don't you have open your mouth and you're accusing me, the way you look, the way you're acting.
And just how do you expect me to behave?
Well, the way you've been behaving for the past few weeks. According to you, you already guessed about me and Wendy. It wasn't news to you, and I told you last night.
Yeah, well, guessing's one thing, knowing's another.
Yeah, well, maybe, but it wasn't done to hurt you.
Oh, hi, love. Who was that on the phone?
Debbie.
How is she? Is she all right?
Yeah. I'm going upstairs till dinner's ready.
Well, you don't have to. You can...
I feel as if I've already been tried and condemned as far as you're concerned.
Do you want to know how I feel?
Yes.
I feel... betrayed. Not because you slept with her. It might surprise you to know I don't care about that. What I do mind is being lied to. I do mind you conspiring with her to make a fool out of me.
Oh, so if I told you, if I'd said, oh, by the way, I don't know whether you're interested, but I'm seeing Wendy Crozier, that would have been all right, would it?
No! Look, I'm trying, Ken. I really am. Just leave me alone. Please leave me alone and let's just get through today.
You know, when Uncle Albert was with us, and we'd had Christmas dinner, he used to sit here cracking nuts, and he always used to recite, it was Christmas Day in the workhouse. Do you know it?
No.
Deirdre, you remember?
Yeah.
It was Christmas Day in the workhouse, and the cold, bare walls are bright, with garlands of green and holly, and the place is a pleasant sight. For with clean-washed hands and faces in a long and hungry line, the paupers sit at the table, for this is the hour they dine. Yeah, well, there were about 15 other verses, but I don't think Uncle Albert ever got beyond that. We probably got it in a book somewhere.
Is it all right if I go?
Well, what are you going to do?
Does it matter as long as I'm not here stopping you two carrying on with your row?
Tracy!
I'm not carrying on any row.
Yes, you are, because I've heard you. And why did you sleep in the front room last night?
There are just some things that are private between your dad and me.
Yeah, well, I'm going out, then you can talk about what you want to.
Tracy! Oh, no.
I'm sure you've misunderstood.
No, they're round and they want me out of the way.
Nobody rows at Christmas.
They do in our house.
Just a minute.
Oh, Deirdre.
Hello, Emily. There you are.
I'm not coming home.
I'm sorry, Emily. In the middle of your dinner as well.
Oh, don't worry about that. She's very welcome to stay for a while if, well, I mean, if you and Ken have something you want to talk about.
Well, they're looking very smart. Is them the clothes you got for Christmas?
Yeah,
Oh, socks given me. Look at them.
trendy.
Oh, well, I don't mind that as long as you keep my toes warm. What's this for? Is that to keep your ears warm, I suppose?
Right. Listen, lovey. Auntie Emily's very kindly said you can stop here for 1 hour. If you're not back by then, I shall come and fetch you, right?
For long enough now, you haven't given a damn about what's been going on in my life. There's been a gulf a mile wide between us.
And why?
You tell me.
Because I'm not what you want me to be anymore. You want me at home, the little woman.
That's ridiculous.
You hate me being on that council, and you always have done.
I did everything I could to get you on it.
Yeah, but you never thought I would. And you never thought I'd stick it when I did.
Well, I never thought you'd let it take over your life the way you have done.
which has led to this gulf between us.
Wow.
So, I am to blame. I mean, I am responsible for you going out with Wendy. Is that what you're trying to say?
You're not listening, are you? Wendy is not an alternative to my life here with you and Tracy.
Well, what is she then? Something extra? A bit on the side?
But you just don't want to understand, do you? You want to feel betrayed. You like the feeling
I do not like the
the feeling of moral superiority.
Whereas all you want is to blame everything on me. You're having an affair. But all you want to talk about is this gulf I've opened up between us. I mean, when you come to think about it, I've practically forced you into having an affair with her. Yes, you didn't stand a chance.
Oh, dear.
I mean, how can you ever forgive me for
Will
what
you
I've
stop
done?
this?
Oh, will you stop trying to make out that I am responsible? Because I'm not. You are.
We want to be a Merry Christmas. Do it. What?
Right. I think that's enough of today for you, young lady.
Oh.
Yes. Come on, say goodnight to your father.
Merry Christmas, Dad.
No.
Night, Mum.
Good night, love.
And thanks for a nice Christmas.
Come on, off you go. I don't think I'll be so far behind you. I reckon I've had enough of today as well. I know we said we'd talk tomorrow, but really I don't think there's much point, is there?
No?
We both know what the situation is. Now, all I need to know from you is whether you're staying or whether you're going.
Oh, then, Ken, what do you think you're doing propping this bar up? I suppose that little woman of yours is at home chained to the cooker.
Hello, Bert.
And I thought you were the liberated man. I was sure you would have given Deirdre the morning in bed while you fricasseed the leftovers.
Oh, sometimes, Bet, you can't give people help, no matter how hard you try.
Eee, I didn't know you got your best corns on, Ken. Sorry.
I'm really sorry to ask, Emily, but I just don't see what else I'm to do, honest.
Don't worry. I'm sure it'll work out.
Thanks. Tracy, are you ready, love? God, why kids should have to put up with their stupid parents, I do not know.
I am sorry about it, Deirdre.
Yeah. Well, if we could just have a couple of hours just to thrash it out, I'm sure it'd be better for Tracy in the long run.
And that's what's important.
Quite.
Hello, Tracy, love. Are you ready?
Yeah. Where are we going?
Well, we'll call for Samantha, shall we? And I think we'll probably end up in a burger bar before the day's out. How will that suit? We're just off out for the afternoon, aren't we, Tracy?
Oh.
We don't know quite what we're going to do, but we'll make sure we have a good time, whatever it is.
Oh, right, well, here.
no,
Here,
you won't
Tracy,
need
that's
that.
No, it's all right, Emily, it's all right. Take that then.
Oh, well, really is Christmas, isn't it?
Right, bye.
Bye. Bye, Mum.
Bye-bye, my love. Have a wonderful time.
We will. Bye.
So, talk.
Well, for what it's worth, you have my absolute word. There was nothing between Wendy and me until very recently.
What difference does that make?
Well, it does make a difference. It means that I wasn't looking for an affair. It took me totally by surprise, as I believe it did Wendy. For a long time, there was nothing sexual between us. We met strictly as professionals.
That's called foreplay.
Look, I don't think there's any point in trying to be clever.
Anything else?
Well, most importantly, that I didn't want to hurt you.
Who says you have? No, I think it's probably a good thing.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
Well, you've been waiting for a chance to get back at me for going with Mike. Now you have.
That's ridiculous.
It's just a pity you had to wait so long.
No, Deirdre, the only bearing that has on what's happening now is in the hurt that we both feel. I know what you're going through, Deirdre.
Do you?
I remember it as if it was yesterday. It's the worst feeling in the world. The rejection, jealousy, the hurt, the longing for you.
No. I don't feel any of that. Just contempt.
Been a bit of a waste of time, this, isn't it?
Are you talking about our marriage?
I'm talking about shunting Tracy off with Emily so that we could talk. I thought when you did that you intended having a proper discussion of what happens. Every time I broach the subject, you close up. It's like talking to a wall.
You haven't tried to discuss anything, Ken. All you've done is sit there and tell me how perfect and blameless you are and how you feel sorry for me. I mean, what do you want me to do, Ken? Go down on my knees and beg you to stop seeing her? Has it not occurred to you that I might not be that excited about having you back?
Look, Deirdre, let me be absolutely honest. I don't want to leave you.
Then what do you want?
Well, I want you to be strong about this. Give me time. I can't just leave Wendy at the moment. It's all too involved, but give me time and I'll sort it out.
Wait while you get it out of your system.
Well, one way of putting it.
While you've got your wife and daughter here and a nice warm body round the corner.
Which I suppose is not that different from you and Baldwin.
God! 7 years. Do you realise you've been holding that over me for 7 years?
Yeah, well, the pain lasts, Deirdre. It doesn't just vanish.
And you wonder why I close up? We're supposed to be talking about you and Wendy Crozier.
Yeah, well, I'm asking you to remember how I fought for you when you were in a similar position. And what I'm saying is if you can't fight for me, then at least wait for me.
No!
So what are you saying? I'm not worth waiting for?
What I am saying is, Ken, if you think I'm going to cook your meals and iron your shirts while you're at it with your secretary or whatever the hell you want to call her, then you're arrogant, self-satisfied, and totally thick.
Thanks very much.
Well, it's not a lot, but it might get you something.
No, it was good of you to go to the trouble, Mavis.
I did mean to get round with it on Christmas Day, but you know what it's like with all the excitement.
Busy time.
Yeah, still, it's worth it, isn't it? Especially with children. I mean, I always think Christmas is a real family occasion.
Yes.
Anyway, I was just on my way to Emily's, so if you'll excuse me.
Nice to see you, Mavis, and thanks again.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Oh, that's all right. Now, a Happy New Year if I don't see you before tomorrow.
Thank you, Mavis.
Thank you, bye.
Where are you going, Tracy?
I'm off to listen to some tapes.
Well, look, I tell you what, why don't we go out and see if we can get something with that gift token?
No, thanks.
Well, maybe later.
Maybe.
This can't go on.
Oh, don't
I will
start.
not have her life turned upside down.
I told you I didn't want Tracy involved in all this.
She is involved. She'd have to be deaf, dumb and blind not to be involved.
She's only upset because we're at each other's throats.
Oh, well, I'm sorry if I'm behaving unreasonably. But it's not every day I get asked to share my husband with another woman and be sensible about it.
Look, what's happened has happened. We can't undo it and we can't ignore it, so we've got to accept it and behave in an adult and reasonable fashion.
Yeah, well, I don't feel adult and reasonable. I feel hurt and angry.
That's why she's upset.
Oh, so you want me to pretend everything's fine?
We've got to come to some arrangement.
Oh, well, why don't you, live with her Monday to Friday and then crawl back into my bed at weekends? How will that suit?
Look, I'm trying to be serious.
And you think I'm not? My God, you've got a cheek, Ken. You are asking me the impossible.
I don't think it's impossible.
Well, I'm telling you, it is. Absolutely and completely impossible. So you make a decision. Us or her.
Hi! I wasn't expecting you today.
Who were you expecting?
Ah, that's me telling. I'm just having some lunch. Oh, sorry, do you want some?
No, no thanks.
It won't take a minute.
Really?
We'll have a glass of wine then.
Yeah, okay.
So, to what unforeseen good fortune do I owe all this?
Deirdre's found out.
You told her?
She worked it out.
Not difficult, I suppose.
I suppose not, no.
I imagine she's fairly devastated.
Yeah.
Poor Deirdre. Still, at least it's out in the open.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you wanted, isn't it?
Well, yeah, of course it is. Don't you?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Will Dad be over for lunch then?
I don't know, love. He might be. You know how busy he is at the paper these days.
That where he is? The office.
Well, yeah. Where else?
You know where else. He's with her, isn't he? With that woman. With that Wendy Crozier.
She was so hurt. Angry.
Well, don't sound so surprised.
Well, I know. I just wasn't ready for it.
So, what's the plan? You staying here?
I don't know, I haven't really thought.
That's the logical conclusion.
What's logical about all this?
If it's logic you're looking for, you shouldn't fall in love, Ken.
No. I'm sorry, it's just that... Well, it was so sudden. So unexpected. Well, no, it was not unexpected.
It's all right. Don't look so worried. You're over the main hurdle now. She knows about us.
Yeah.
I don't want you to think I'm pressurising you, but...
I know.
If you do want to move in, that's fine.
Thanks, love.
The worst's over.
Yeah, well, not quite, is it? I mean, there's still Tracy. How on earth am I going to tell her?
I know it's hard to understand, Tracy, love, but... Well, sometimes these things happen to people when they're not expecting them.
But why does he want another woman? Aren't you good enough for him?
Obviously not.
She's not a patch on you.
Thanks.
Well, she's not. And when he gets home, I'll tell him so I know.
No, Tracy, love, you stay out of this. This is between your dad and me.
Don't I have a say?
Yes, of course you do. But there's a time and a place.
He can't stay here and mess about with her, can he?
Well, he has been doing.
You didn't know about it then, though.
Does that make a difference?
I don't know. Oh, Mum, what are you going to do?
I don't know, love.
You okay?
Yeah.
It's nice having you around.
It's nice being around.
Do you want some coffee?
No, not for me.
Do you want a proper drink?
I'm gonna go. I think it's better if I get things sorted out.
Ken, if you go back now, you're only going to row again, so what's the point?
I don't want Tracy waking up and me not being there.
Bad conscience.
Yeah.
Then why didn't you go back earlier?
Because I wanted you.
And now that you've had me, you can go back and satisfy your conscience.
It's not like that.
Or it feels like that.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry too, Ken, because I want a whole commitment, not half a one.
You're right. I've come to a decision, Bet. You're right. It's no good moping about what's gone past, is it? No. I've decided I'm going to look for our Sandra. Happy New Year! Happy New Year!